21. And I woke up this morning and I was just doodling, and I created this picture. Now, it was kind of channeled and it was kind of a known thing from myself anyway. So I've just called it drawing message. But I just thought it'd be a good thing to share with you guys, something that was drawn, and I wasn't really thinking at the time when I was drawing it. It's just like clearing my mind and seeing what was coming in. And honestly, the first thing I saw was a door with somebody pushing, and two people pushing at the same door, and being shown to just let go and trust that you'll be guided instead of being directed. There was like a direction for everybody to push, and they were showing me, no, if everybody's pushing for something to happen, then it's like pushing two sides of a door and nobody gets anywhere. But if you let go of everything, and then you trust that you know whether you are the one to pull or you are the one to push, then everything starts flowing freely again. So that was the first message I got, and I was just holding my pen above paper. And then I was thinking, oh, do I want to draw this? It's a cool message, but I don't know. And then I just started drawing something else instead. So I drew two pathways going like this, and that's all I started with. And then I was thinking about some mountains in the background, and then there was a sign that popped up, and I'll show you this drawing in a minute. And the sign between the two pathways, one sign said go, and that was going towards the left, and the other sign said nothing. It just was blank. They didn't want me to write anything in it. And I'm like, okay, oh, that's weird. One saying go towards the left, which I see as the masculine, logical side of ourselves, and the one that was to the right had nothing in it. And then on the path to the left-hand side, I started drawing a building over the path, and a long building on the path. And then it started branching out into people trying to build the building, and little fences with paddocks and so forth, kind of penned paddocks at the back of that, and then a cloud. And then I went to the other side with this unknown sign going nowhere, and I started drawing trees and a big cliff and someone sitting at the top of a cliff. And I'm like, okay. And then there was the mountains in the background where the clouds was on the left-hand side, and they wanted me to draw the sun on the right-hand side. And then there's this person sitting on the edge of a cliff, and they then then showed me somebody on the path of the left-hand side holding a computer, holding one of those megaphone things, and all these people. So it's very stick figure-y. It's not a very good drawing by my standards anyway. But I will show you I'll direct you to what the message is actually talking about now. So here's the message that I drew. So here we've got the two, I'm going to have to go backwards, the two paths. So this was going towards the right, an unknown path. And they told me, this is the path that humanity knows very well. Humanity knows that somebody shouts loud enough and bangs the drum and, pushes the adverts, follow us. You would get directed to buildings of safety, and the safety of, well, the storm's coming, we're going to protect you, and come this way, we will herd you into paddocks, that sort of scenario. And we know that story very well. We've been there, and, the storm coming, but little did we know this person already knew that this path took us to a storm. No matter which way we go, if we followed them, they already knew that storm was coming. And so they've got on the sign go. And, it's all very much spelt out for us. And here's the people. Now, the other side, which was to me the right hemisphere, is a very, very unknown path. If I don't know if you see it. There's a little rabbit there. I wanted to draw other animals as well, but the little rabbit came through, so I left it. This is like a bunch of trees, almost like a shadow, like going through the shadow, the dark night of the soul, the dark south, figuring out, your fears and all of that through the forest. But it's a very unknown path, and only, a handful of humans have taken that path in the, recent past. Sorry, my cat, Alice. Anyway, so as we go up the, oh, now it's gone all blurry. My cat's tail got the better of it. Come back. That's better. So then they showed me a person sitting on the edge of a cliff, and I'm like, oh my God, edge of a cliff. But they also wanted me to draw a balloon and a person reaching out, and this was what they represented as spirit, as guide. And that they said, when I drew the sun, this is the soul. This is our soul directing us with sunlight. And even though it's a scary, daunting path to jump off a cliff into an unknown aspect and trust, that would actually lead us to jumping into a balloon and traveling wherever we want to go, and trusting nature, again, where the wind flows, where the wind blows, and all that sort of stuff. So I thought it was a really cool kind of a message that came through to help you guide you guys in understanding of the paths that we know to take, and always a choice. Nobody's right or wrong in their choices. I'll never suggest that anybody is wrong or right or whatever in their choices. It's up to them and what choices they make. I don't judge anyone for any choices that they make. But interesting channel drawing message that I pulled through this morning. Hey, Franklin. And yeah, so I just thought I'd share that with you guys this morning. And yeah, that's pretty much. I did get a really strong message yesterday morning, and it was about leadership, and it was about advertising. They've been talking a lot to me about the paths that we got, that the choices of the paths that we've got lately, and how the ones that already know the path of advertisement and bling bling and all that, they already know that if I'm trying to remember this channel message. Sorry, I lost it a bit during the day. I should have jumped online straight away, but I didn't. But they were talking about that the leadership knows that we are the creators of our own reality, and how to stop us from creating the reality that we want by flashing all these amazing adverts on TV and getting us directed to a certain path. What happens is, through repetition, the neuron paths get stronger and stronger in that reality. So if they keep pushing advertisements and news and programs and directing us to a certain way, they just keep pushing it. Then it becomes bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger in our reality, because everybody that watches has this neuron path that's strengthened by every time they watch some message about that. So, a good example would be before cancer really took off. There was a few people who got cancer, and all of a sudden the advertisements went on about support cancer this, support cancer that, and people started seeing cancer written up everywhere in their reality. And what do you know? Did it get less? No, it didn't. It got more. It just got bigger, and it got bigger in our reality. And the spirits, the guidance that I'm getting is telling me that in itself should be giving you enough information to know that you're creating your own reality, and what you keep bringing to yourself over and over and over again. Are you focusing on the stuff that you love? Are you focusing on clarity of finding abundance for yourself and knowing that your path will become easier and easier? Or are you focusing on what they're telling you, survival games, scare tactics, worried about everybody else? Don't touch anything, don't touch anyone, don't go anywhere, don't do anything. Be afraid enough for you to trust their reality. The spirits are constantly at the moment talking about parliamental things and things that I'm really not into. Honestly, I don't follow that side of stuff. But thanks, Paula. She just said that it's making sense to her. So yeah, if you go back to this, if you go back through this message, there's a drawing that I drew that kind of directs us into all of this. So yeah, what this guidance is telling me is that if you see how they've actually implanted these messages and sort of got you to go towards, like I showed you in that drawing, you're going towards the path of the building to be herded where the storm is, and they know that storm is always going to come on that side of the fence, and with the loud megaphone, then you should realize that we are creating our own reality. It's just that they knew it, and so they went off, start creating their own reality. All we have to do is convince them to go down our road by programming. But if we take ourselves back to trusting our own intuition, which is trusting the connection to our own souls again, then we can start directing ourselves towards the path that we want. Yes, it's an unknown path. Yes, it can look scary. Yes, we have to face the shedding of all the programs and all of the shadow side of ourselves, all of our fears. Yes, we have to do some work through that. But when we start following that, when we get clearance of more and more and more of the program, we become our authentic selves enough to step into creating exactly what we want. And what we want what our heart's desires. We want where our love takes us. We want everybody to flourish. We want all the people around us to flourish. Don't you want your family to flourish? There's no need for any sort of jealousy or anything like that anymore, because if everyone's flourishing and feeling good about themselves, then you're feeling good about yourself, because you don't have to worry about anybody. You don't have to feel like you have to do something specific to make them happy. You just make yourself happy by following your guidance, and your soul would always direct you towards your heart's mission, your desire, because your soul is the observer of your reality, and it could see, and your intuition is the guidance of where you want to pull yourself to try and try some unknown path, and that's where the gifts come. So yeah, hey Kylie. So that was my message for this morning, to realize that we are creators of our own reality, that the governments and stuff realize that we're creators of our own reality. But are we going to keep following one person's reality and saying that person, because they earned a lot of money, and they honestly, most of them, not all of them, I wouldn't want to say that, but a lot of them got there through climbing over top of other people, deceit, lies, not the best scenario to even get into a leadership position in the first place. And here we are saying, well, it's the only system we have to follow. Well, and my guides are saying, no, you can connect yourself to your intuition and create this whole new beautiful path that doesn't have anything to do with them. And when you've got your soul that's the observer of your path, it will always point you in the direction of the bliss that you want to go to. So that sort of falls away. All of that stuff, all of somebody else's reality that's trying to dictate to you how your reality is supposed to go, will start falling away. So Saya said, I just talked with a friend that this is a year we really need to choose. That's exactly the message I was getting. Choose with our hearts which way to take. Your channeling points it on perfectly. So cool. Yeah. And it's exciting. I love that. I love that there's more of us that are getting these messages, because we become a bigger force of the message to go out to the world, and it's not just one person trying to tell everybody. It's many people are going, I'm getting the same message, and the synchronicities of that in itself must mean that there's something in this. There's something beautiful to trust this, especially because, excuse me, my cat's on my drawing, especially because that path, that sign has nothing in it. It's an unknown path. It's very daunting for lots of people when they get to the edge of the cliff and they go, now what? I have to jump. You're what? I have to let go of all my past, and I have to trust that I'm going to be guided by spirit, that I'll be caught by this little man in this balloon. It sounds crazy. You know, I could easily walk back to the V point of this path and listen to this other person's reality who's created this so-called safety net that's leading me to penned up, reality. Sorry, it's going out of focus with my hand. And the storm behind it. But they already knew that storm was there. They know that they're directing you towards a storm, because then they've got more control over you if that storm's there. If it's all sun and roses, then you don't keep looking at them for outside help all the time. And that's really all we've done, is we've given our power away to looking towards, another person's reality to dictate what our reality should be like. Okay, so that's my message of the day, and I think I'll leave it there. I love the sync too. That's so cool. I'm just thinking whether to does anyone want me to pull a card for them? I could do a quick card. I'm not probably going to hang for too long, but I could do a couple of readings if anybody wants me to pull a card for them. I've got a new setup today. I've changed everything around a little bit and a little bit more organized, which is cool. I could pull like I'll get my animal card. I'm also thinking of doing, hey Kylie, yes, I will pull a card for you. I'm also thinking of doing a general reading every day, maybe even doing these drawings like more often, coming on, and my sketching I haven't sketched for a while, so I need to get back into it again, but I was just doodling really. Okay, so let's focus. Hey Holly, thanks. Kylie. Okay, so what message is there for Kylie this morning? How can we help Kylie? Should I take my glasses? We help Kylie. Okay. Kylie. Personal choice. Okay, so you got 3 cards that fell out. You got the intuitive card of the loon, and you got the protective card of the white stag. Come on, camera, be nice to me. It's like it'd rather focus on me than the card. And you got personal choice. I mean, what have we just been talking about? If you really think about it, this is the card for Kylie, but honestly, it's a card for so many of us. These are cards for all of us. It's the message that I was just saying. Alice, stop. So we have, sorry, she's attacking my camera. So we have follow our intuition. You are completely protected, and the white stag to me represents spirit, guidance, and you have a personal choice to make here. You have a personal choice. So it's saying, Kylie, that make the choice and commit to it. Really understand that you are so totally protected. Whatever choice you make, you are protected in the path that you want to create for yourself. You know, even especially if you're following your intuition, because your intuition is the choice of, you know, following that intuitive guidance, then you will be totally protected, is what it's saying. And the choice is obviously, do I want to follow everybody else's reality, what everyone else tells me to do? Am I feeling strong enough to make my own decisions? Am I trusting myself enough to make my own decisions? Do I trust myself to trust this person? Well, are you trusting that person, or are you trusting yourself? Yourself is the one that guided you to the person to either get a message, to either get a lesson, to either be able to say, no, I don't trust you. I'm going to follow my own guidance. So in the end, it's nothing to do with trusting people outside yourself. It's all to do with trusting you and the decisions that you make each step of the way. And the way that they're telling me with these cards is each step and each choice that you make, come back to you. Are you coming back to you? Are you saying, you know, instead of projecting it onto someone else, oh, I don't trust you. No, are you trusting yourself to follow them, or to say, no, I'm following my own guidance here? That person and themselves might be in their own reality absolutely the truth for who they are in that moment, and there is nothing wrong with what they're doing. What it comes down to is you trusting you and your path. Now, that if you say that person's reality doesn't resonate with you, it feels like it's not taking you to a pleasant place for you, then you need to step forward and go, well, I don't, instead of pointing the finger and saying, I don't trust you, you're saying, well, I'm trusting me. And I'm feeling like that doesn't resonate with me, so I'm moving myself away and going towards somebody else that feels in resonance with me, because this is I'm trusting where I'm guiding myself. Too often we've been taught to either trust or not trust people outside ourselves, and it's got nothing to do with anyone outside yourself. So that's the message I got for you, Kylie, and the collective. And the collective. She's like, I always get confirmations from other channelings. And that's probably because you are embodying the general, you know, you're embodying a collective here of energy, which you should be proud of that. You should be proud that you've stepped into that almost leadership role of if somebody reads for you and it's for a broader amount of people. That means that you're in that general collection and you are a leading guide of that collection. So be proud of that, because we want to, in the end, in the fifth dimension, we're all going to be one beautiful, abundant collection of energy that's knowing we're guiding ourselves towards creating such bliss, and in line, like all cats are in line with being a cat. They are their own self, sovereign to being a cat. We're learning to be sovereign to being a human again and connected to our soul. A cat doesn't go up to another cat and go, well, I'm trusting you to guide me on this path. It trusts itself. Yeah, everything in itself will trust itself in the end. It just follows the program that it's born into. Okay, let's go to Seer. I think it was Seer was next. Seer said the cards were perfect for her too. Isn't that fun? And it was really the collective message of this morning as well, which I love that. So I think, who else wanted a message? We have Kylie And then sure love a card. Seer. 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 Hope I'm saying it right. Probably not. Seer. Seer. Usually they're asking me to get Alice in Wonderland cards. Alice in Wonderland cards, Alice. Oh, these are really hard to shuffle. Look how big they are. They're massive. Okay, that one's wanting to pop out. So there was two there. I can't believe this. I'm sorry, but this is too freaking cool. Look at this card is called. Can you read that? I think my camera's being annoying. Come on, camera, don't focus on me. Choices. I'm sorry. That is crazy, right? Feeling blocked, restrained. You know, you always have a choice. You always have a choice. It doesn't matter. That is the program that's pulled over our eyes of limitation. That we don't have a choice, that we have to follow somebody else's reality. Because but we always have a choice. Yes, that choice might be taking that leap of faith or not. And the other thing is you've got clock time. So you've got time, pressure, and a rush. So it's like I think your soul's feeling like, oh my God, I've got to do something. I've got to do something now. I should be further ahead. I should be creating more. I should be. But the clock time is saying time, it's nothing to do with time. Time is that program again pulled over our eyes to give us the anxiety and the pressure of who we are and what we feel we should be. The only thing that exists is vibration and who you feel you are right now. And they're telling me that if you completely let go of the worry of that time, you'll feel like, oh my God, that in itself is such a relief to not worry and to trust that you're at the right place at the right time for everything that you're doing. That release ends up being a beautiful vibration that gives you even more than what you could even have even rushed towards. So just let go of the pressure that you're putting on yourself, the pressure that you need to be, do, or whatever. And isn't that cool? That choice came out again. Oh, I love that. That's pretty crazy, right? Whole other packet, and we get choice for the second time after my channeled message, drawing message. That's 3 times this morning, guys, of 2 different paths, a choice. That's 3 times. That's crazy, right? And it's so freaking cool. And that's guidance. This is where we're going. We get told through spirit now. And spirit's guiding us. And they're guiding us to the point where we get the message 3 times in the space of 20 minutes. So cool. Okay, I get very excited about it when it comes out like that. So I'm going to do another. Does anyone else? Paula would like a card. Paula. I love all the smiles. I thought that was really weird. Okay, Paula. I was shuffling the cards and I literally felt and thought that a card had fallen out. Just feeling into whether there's a message there. But it was an unknown, nothing. I'm wondering whether there's an uncomfortableness with you sitting within nothing, a space of nothing, of not knowing. I think that there's an uncomfortableness with the unknown aspect of following your intuition and not knowing what's going to come next. And there's a feeling of maybe you need to control, you need to find a message, you need to get something to give you guidance. But they're saying it is the unknown, it is the nothing, that trust of the nothing, of the unknown, that will guide you towards your heart. And your heart is the key to your next move, because you're too much in your mind, in the mind. Okay, so we got follow your own good advice, trust yourself. See, the unknown aspect is that trust of your own self. There's something that's not. And we got another time card. Use your time well. Make every moment count. Okay. So you got follow your own good advice. Trust yourself. You know the best advice for you. Now, when we start trust, even I know for myself, whenever I start trusting myself and my intuition, there is definitely an unknown aspect to that. And so when you're trusting that intuition, you tend to go, oh, holy crap, this is unknown. I don't know where this is going to go. Okay, I'm going to have to follow. I'm going to have to reach out for somebody else for help. And so it's really saying, you need to trust the unknown aspect of yourself, which is your intuition, which is connected to your heart. You will make the right decision. And the next card is your time. Use your time well. Okay, just the word wow stood out for me for you, because they've given me a really powerful message of the guidance system that we have, and they showed me a wow, even though that was the word wow, but this is what's come into my brain. The wow was representing somebody at the bottom of the well trying to get up, and spirit was at the top, and they were in a dark place, and spirit was just a light, didn't have to say anything, didn't have to do anything but hold its vibration and be that it was, which is an unknown aspect to the person that is down in this well, for starters. But the person in the well that's in its own mind, in its own mind trap, will see this glimmer, this hope, this star being at the top, this light that's at the top. And when it looks up, just at looking up at the light at the top of the well, gives it curiosity, and the curiosity is a step, is a ladder, is a step up, and it can go, oh, I'm curious about that light, curious enough to make the step, to make another step, to make another step. It's curiosity that drives us towards the light itself. And then they showed me that the spirits got a group of light workers to climb all the way up to the top of that well, and then they are our guides further out, and we are now standing at the top of the well for the next people that are coming. And so for you to hold your light, be the vibrational person, and trust where you're going, know who you are deep in yourself, that you have found something within yourself, and you don't need to be looking for the guidance anymore, because they're asking you to be the light for the next person down in the bottom of the well. Okay, that was a big long message, Paula. Sayer said, thank you, I'm really living all you in the cast just told me, and it's my whole system has been slowed down, so I can't rush anything, not even thinking. No, it's cool, because when we start letting go and we're just trusting, coming from our heart space, we start taking these really crazy unknown leaps of faith into that heart space, because we're like sitting in this place of no man's land, and we go, wow, I really feel like doing this. But usually in the past, our mind would click in and go, you can't do that. People are going to think you're like this. That's not following what everyone else is doing. But because we've let go of all of that, we're just following the heart, and we're going, wow, I'm going to have a crack at that. I have no fear attached to it anymore because my mind has been shushed. And so the non-fear takes you into a dive, which is the whole reason why I'm doing what I'm doing now. I stopped being afraid. I just literally stopped being afraid because my mind was the fear. It was the program of me being afraid to be my authentic self. Paula said, wow, that was beautiful, smiling and laughing, complete resonance. Thank you. Oh, I love helping. It's so fun because the more people that are following that intuitive heart guidance of themselves, the more friends they make because we're all in some beautiful vibration, and then we get bigger and bigger and bigger until the whole world takes over as this awesome bliss following their hearts instead of following somebody else's reality. I love you guys. I will leave you there. So till next time, bye.